It's time to count down my top 25 catchers for this 2014 fantasy baseball season. Remember, follow me on Twitter at FantasySports7. Team number 1 of the catchers starts off with Buster Posey, and he's the obvious number 1 catcher. 85 RBIs, 19 home runs, some good power numbers for your catcher spot, and he's going to play some first base this year, so he's going to be healthier, which means probably more production. I like him a lot, but don't overpay for him just because he's a catcher. Number 2 is Yadier Molina of the Cardinals. He's going to hit for the highest average probably of any catcher. 321 projection, 15 home runs, 77 RBIs. I like everything offensively about Molina, and he's the best defensive catcher in the league, so he's going to play every single day. Number 3 is Joe Mauer. Joe Mauer is also going to play half catcher, half first base, so he's going to play every day as well, which is nice. I hope he stays healthy, because if he does, he can hit 311 with 14 home runs and 80 RBIs. I like him. Number 4, Carlos Santana. He's probably the most power of any catcher. Projected 25 home runs, 83 RBIs. I like his power numbers. And the Indians want him to play third. So if he plays third at least 10 games, then he's eligible at catcher, first, and third base. Then you're in luck, because that's very valuable if you want a second catcher. And Carlos Santana is going to help you a lot if he's eligible at multiple positions. Team number 2 of the catchers starts off with number 5, William Rosario. I'm higher on Rosario than most people are, but this guy can hit 30 home runs, and I mean it. He is some pop, and he's in Colorado, and the ball flies out there. Projected 28 home runs, 80 RBIs. You know what you're going to get from him, and it's going to cost you a 5th or 6th round pick, but I think it's worth it. Number 6, Jonathan Lucroy. He's an all-around good hitter, and he's going way lower than Rosario, so that's good. Projected 292 with 16 home runs, 82 RBIs. I like him. He's going to be very consistent for your team. Number 7, Brian McCann. I like him a lot more now in New York rather than Atlanta. He's going to hit a lot of home runs to that short porch, and projected 29 home runs, 83 RBIs. But the only thing, he's very injury prone, and he's going to get overdrafted because he's a New York Yankee. So be careful. Don't stretch for him. Don't overdraft him. Number 8, Matt Wieters. The last 3 years, he's had at least 22 home runs, and he has a lot of power, and you know what you're going to get from him. Projected 24 home runs, 80 RBIs. I like him a lot. Number 9, Salvador Perez. Last year he did most of the catching, and he really broke out. I think he's going to improve more than last year. Projected 300 batting average, 15 home runs, 77 RBIs. I like his all-around package, and he goes in like the 9th or 10th round, which is very good for a guy his production. 2 or 3 is where I would probably want to get my catcher. I like all these guys, and these guys are a lot later rounds than the 2 I just showed you. Number 10, Jason Castro of Houston. He's going to play a lot because he's an Astro, and the Astros don't have anyone good. But he also hits a lot of home runs for a catcher, and, he manages this pitching stuff well, which means that, he's going to play every single day, and I like that for my catcher. Number 11, Wilson Ramos. He had a breakout year last year. He had over 15 home runs, I think, and he's projected 23 home runs, 81 RBIs. You can get him like the 11th or 12th round. I would definitely try to get Ramos as my number 1 catcher. You can get him late, and he produces very well. Number 12, Evan Gattis. Last year, as a rookie, he hit 22 home runs. You know what you're going to get. Huge power numbers. Number 13, Miguel Montero. Had a down year last year, but I think he'll rebound. And he's the catcher in Arizona, so no one's going to pass him. He's going to hit good home runs, a good amount of RBIs, have a good average. You know what you're going to get. I also like tier number 4, and these guys you can get in like the 20th round. These guys dropped a lot lower than tier 3. AJ Pierzynski at Boston. He's a very consistent player. He can hit some home runs, driving some runs. Now number 15, Yan Gomes. He really broke out last year, and he's getting a lot of fantasy publicity this year, and he's going to have a very good fantasy year, especially because he's starting at catcher, and he could DH a lot too. So I like him a lot, but don't overspend on him just because he's getting all this fantasy hype. But he should hit near 20 home runs and driving around 70 runs. I like him a lot. Number 16, Devin Mesoraco. He's going to start now, and he has big power, and in Cincinnati, you can hit a lot of home runs quickly. Tier number 5 of the catchers. These guys are value picks, like maybe the last 2 rounds of your draft. Toto Malakia. He's going to hit a lot of home runs, driving runs. Number 18, Diano Navarro. Last year, he had 13 home runs and only 300 at-bats. And if he plays every day, which he should, he's a starter at Toronto. he's going to hit 20 home runs, and you can get him in the last round. So if you don't like drafting catchers, you can wait till the last round and get Gianni Navarro. I would so do that. I love Navarro for this year. Number 19, Russell Martin. You know, he's a leader on this Pittsburgh team, and he's going to play every day. Should hit some home runs. Number 20, Carlos Ruiz will hit for a very high average. You can get him very late. And tier number 6 is for leagues that have 2 catchers, and you need not just 1 but 2 catchers, and these guys are deeper league guys, but if your league requires multiple catchers, these guys are gems at the back of the draft. Number 21, Alex Avila. He's going to have some home runs and a pretty good average. Number 22, Giovanni Soto. He's a starter at Texas, and he's going to hit some home runs in that ballpark. Number 23, AJ Ellis. He plays every day, and he hits for a high average. He's a very consistent player, and you can get him very late. Number 24, Mike Zunino, has the biggest upside of anyone on this list, and maybe any catcher overall. His upside is crazy, and if it's a keeper league, I would definitely try to get Zunino. He's going to start. He's going to hit home runs. I like him a lot. And number 25, Derek Norris. He's going to start at catcher for Oakland, and last year he did very well. He should hit about 10 home runs, and he could steal 10 bases too. He's very quick. So you get a good combo of power speed in the late rounds, and that's what I love about Norris. Thanks for watching, and tune in to my next fantasy baseball videos. Remember, follow me on Twitter at FantasySports7.